Welcome everyone, and welcome to the WMD edition of State of the Universe. Normally on State of the Universe, and going forward, we will be talking about both the action that occurs on both EHW Friday Night Fight Night and Monday Night Next Gen. But since we are a few days away from Weapons of Mass Destruction, that being a EHW pay-per-view, we're taking the opportunity tonight to talk to you, the universe, and we're going to basically break down everything that's occurred and everything that's going to transpire at Weapons of Mass Destruction. So let's kick it off with the first match of the night. In the last couple of weeks, the Outlanders, being led by the former EHW UK champion Antonio Madsen, has brought in his brothers Blaine and Elijah, and they have formed the Outlanders. They have been interrupting matches, causing a lot of path of destruction, and mostly towards the tag team division as well as the UK division. And in the most recent episode of Fight Night, the champions of those two divisions have had enough. They teamed up together to take out the Outlanders. So it's been made official now that the tag team championships and the UK championships will be defended in one whole match, where if one person gets pinned, the championships will change hands depending on who it becomes victorious. So of course it will be Suicide being the EHW UK champion, and of course the lower tribe being the EH tag team champions versus the Outlanders, and that match will be winner takes all. And now moving on to another match during that evening, it'll be the future Syndigo versus the future star Nate Saban. Nate Saban, of course, made his return after injury back from that he sustained in the Hellfire cage back at Hellfire against, ironically, Syndigo. Those two were fighting in the Hellfire cage, and of course, as I said, Nate Saban did get injured. But he made his triumphant return a couple of weeks ago, and he attacked Syndigo with a kendo stick. So it seemed almost fitting that these two get a rematch, but this time the only weapon that is available to each man is a kendo stick. So that match will be a kendo stick match. So it'll be Syndigo versus Nate Saban. And of course, there is also a little bit of extra stipulation involved, that if Syndigo loses the match, he will lose his briefcase and also his name being the future. So it'll be the future versus the future star, but who will be the undisputed future, we'll have to wait and see at WMD. And now we move on to probably hands down going to be the most hardest hitting match of the night, as the EHW Hardcore Championship will be up for grabs. As the longest reigning champion in EHW history, Tommy Silver, the Hardcore Champion, takes on the Man Beast, known simply as Bram. In a Falls Count Anywhere match, Bram, of course, has been attacking Silver the last couple of weeks, and of course cost him a victory at our last pay-per-view, Last Stand, in the Gauntlet match main event. And Tommy, knowing Tommy, he didn't take that well. So he's been searching for Bram the last couple of weeks, And now it's finally been made official that these two hard-hitting wrestlers will now finally be able to hit each other. This time under the rules of the Hardcore Championship. So of course now it'll be a Falls Count Anywhere, so anything goes. But let's be honest, it's a Hardcore Championship match. Do you expect anything less? And now we move on to the Duels division. Of course, the Duels Championship will be defended as well. Beth Gold, who's been the champion since Tropical Clash, as she cashed in her Diamond in the Rough briefcase to secure and cash in on Tessa Vendetta, who's still out with an injury after being thrown from the top of the Hellfire Cage by Beth Gold's bodyguard, Vixen. So she has been holding on to that championship very closely. She even, at our most recent pay-per-view, Last Stand, she issued an open challenge which was answered by Kelly Montel, but that match was quite short. Of course, not thinking that she's completely worth it, Beth issued an open challenge to anyone in the back and anyone who would willing to step up and prove themselves to her. But what she didn't expect of who exactly would be answering that challenge, it would turn out to be the proto-wife Max Reeves who would answer that challenge. And this is the match that we got happening now. It'll be Max Reeves versus Beth Gold in a tables match, as Max earned the right to choose the stipulation for this match by defeating Vixen a few weeks ago. So of course now it'll be Max Reeves versus Beth Gold for the Duels Championship. And it'll be a tables match. And now moving on to our main event of the evening. It will be the EHW World Heavyweight Champion, the Prototype, taking on his former best friend, one of his former best friends, that being Fletcher Young. And of course that match will be a WMD match, where the belt will be hung from the ring. The only way to get to it is climbing a ladder. And of course this match has no rules, no stipulations. As long as you climb the ladder and pull it down, it'll be yours. This match came about as last pay-per-view there was a gauntlet match. It was Team EHW versus the Nexus, led by Fletcher Young himself. Fletcher Young, of course, almost single-handedly beat Team EHW, that includes the Prototype, to earn a number one contendership at WMD, but at the cost that the Nexus had to split up. The deal was made, Fletcher accepted, and there we have it. And now we have the Prototype versus Fletcher Young in the main event. But the question is, who will be walking out as EHW World Heavyweight Champion? So do not miss Weapons of Mass Destruction tomorrow at 4 PM UK time. I hope you guys will enjoy the event. And remember, we are EHW. And I'll see you next time for the next episode of State of the Universe. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.